Okay, good evening, everyone, or those of you in the US and our time zones. For some of you, it might already be good morning. This is our ICC HenChess Banter Blitz New Year's Eve special. And hopefully we'll have a lot of fun, and then we will see this whole year out. So, we already have a server announcement there. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to move this guy over here. Aha! There's a server announcement saying that people can play me. Oh no. Oh yes. So I'm sure we will have some people come along eventually, play a few games, talk about a few things that have happened recently. Magnus Carlsen got beaten by Dubov yesterday. And reminds me of a quote that I was reading in the book about pawns that Nigel Short made a quote, something to the effect that, oh, modern chess worries too much about pawn structure and all that stuff. At the end of the day, checkmate, checkmate ends the game. And that's kind of what happened yesterday. Dubov was a piece down, and one or two inaccuracies by Magnus, and his king wound up getting mated over there on, like, queen takes f5, mate. Boing. So, but Magnus seemed to have his hands full during the match anyway, because Dubov has such a direct, straight, uncompromising style. What else do we have to talk about? Well, down here we can see we got the Chess Life, November Chess Life, with the Beth Harmon.
Incoming challenge.
The strongest player that maybe never played a tournament game. Oh, we have an incoming challenge here. Okay, let's go ahead and accept.
Game started.
Welcome, Mr. Benham. Okay. E4, C5. See what happens next. Oh, now you got either knight C6 or B6 if you want to play the accelerated dragon. There, queen takes D4 is an interesting option. Okay, so now we're kind of like in mainline accelerated dragon, and this in fact is actually the key start position. Now bishop C4 is very dangerous. They start heading for a Yugoslav attack. So I kind of like this variation that was recommended by Roman Jinjinhashvili. Castles is the best move. And the main thing is, at least we've kind of gotten them away from their set Yugoslav attack formation. But he's playing all this very, very fast. So, what am I supposed to do? I mean, B6, bishop B7, rook D8. Let's go here. This looks like a very, very solid way to play for white. And I think I've actually seen him play knight A5, take on some ugly double pawns. Okay, what to do? It's a tough game. He's got a pretty impressive build-up in the center. Okay, got his bishop out of the way, anticipating that I might go in with the knight. Let's go ahead and counterattack here, for what it's worth. Okay, so now, well, he's really playing this tight. I could get the D5 square, but he might get that square. Time. Let's try for some counterplay. He's playing very fast.
Announcement.
Okay, I'm not sure about that last move there. Yeah, we're 30 seconds behind on time. That's not good. Okay, so he sacrifices the exchange because he saw I had a little trick there. Okay, but now let's get back over here. Maybe pawn takes pawn to make sure I get that e-file open would have been an idea. Let's do it now.
Check.
So now we can at least feel like we got a nice place for our guy. Aha. Now that sets a little cheapo for him. I didn't want to play f5. I don't want to weaken that e6 square for his knight. Okay, we're still behind on time. Darn. Yeah, we used a lot of time there earlier. Okay, can we go in here? Not sure it does so much. Not sure we're better off there than we were. Okay, now we are weakening the e6 square, but we are hoping that grabbing the c2 pawn will compensate for that. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Take that and check.
Check.
And check.
Check.
And just try to take everything. That's much better. Now, he's not coming in, is he? Try to trade queens. Or maybe get a mating net. Now, the good thing is his queen doesn't have access. Okay, good, good, good. Very good.
Incoming challenge.
Okay, good game, sir. Great opening, very solid. What can I say? Good system. I think the knight d5, I guess, was probably the culprit there. Oh, no, not Ohanessian again. Oh, man. Let's go back to him.
Game started.
Okay, this is 3-0. This is a bit faster. Got to step it up. Now, when they play c3, they're planning to play d4, but they do take away the natural square for the knight. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just, it's a different system. But you can see now he's got another plan here. He's coming with the knight to c4. Now, that's a game. Now, let's go ahead and play. Oh, whoa, whoa, time out, time out. He was touching my pawn on h6 with his battery. Aha. And what he did was actually quite nice there, because he well, what happens if we play d5? Let's try it. Is it just silly? Yeah, give it a whirl. Try to complicate. Get punished for it. Okay, so there's a lot of tension in the center, a lot of tension. A lot of pawns can take each other. There I was hoping to take with the knight. Now, of course, he can take my pawn on c5, but dims the brakes. Can't have everything. Well, maybe he can, I don't know. But, see, at least I'm thinking if he takes, I thought I'd take this guy. So unless I overlooked something, then I should get my pawn back. Now, not necessarily saying it's great for me, but at least we got our pawn back. We got a nice looking dark squared bishop.
Announcement.
Oh, but he's coming in. He's got stuff too. I see. Well, we could take the knight and save the pawn, but I don't really want to give up that dark squared bishop. On the other hand, at this rate, I may never see my pawn again. Well, we do have some nice bishops. I mean, I guess queen f6 was a move. that I probably should have considered. Oh, now he's giving me a chance to save the pawn. Okay, let's save the pawn. Oh, not much joy there. We saved the pawn, but he's coming in all over us. He's going to have a fantastic knight on d6, maybe. Now, we could try to just liquidate stuff out. Oh, whoa, that looks risky. I'm not sure why he felt he needed to do that. I think we caught a break there. Although now, of course, our king side's a bit weaker. Weaker. He's still got that annoying knight. Now he's trading off and he's getting close to my king. Now we could simplify there if we wanted. Whoa, watch out. This passed c-pawn could become dangerous. What to do? Trying to get my pieces organized. Oh, good call. He's like... Okay, now hopefully I can rally this guy. Get control of this guy. Oh. Now let's get our king over there so we can make sure we get knight forked. How are we doing on time? Okay. Good news is we've got a pretty good time situation. Let's go over here. See if he sees what we're up to. Ah, tricky guy. He saw what we were up to.
Check.
Very hard to break through here. Can we take a pawn? Oh, now he's escaping.
Check.
Oh, darn. He forked me.
Check.
Everything was going so well. Okay, at least we got that guy. So we got one pawn for the knight. Okay, don't let him fork you again. Once is enough. Okay, attack this guy. Take that guy. Push this guy. It's tricky. Maybe my pawn can draw against the knight. Probably not.
Check. 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 Time warning. White incoming forfeits challenge on time.
Ah, good game, dude. Good game. I was very lucky there. Narrow escape. Okay, so 5-0. Now, I already reissued. Let's see. New parameters. Let's do 3-0, buddy. Yeah, that was a lucky escape. And I even said I'm going to bring my king over and walk into the knight fork, and sure enough, right. Where was that I walked into the knight fork? Right there. Oh, man. So what should I do? I should just play king back to e7. Yeah. Why make my life so difficult? King back to e7. Easy peasy. Oh, boy. Well, I certainly made it exciting there. How much time did I have left? 17 seconds. Tough game. But he put up a good fight with the knight and the pawn there. He did not make it easy. This position, probably some chance for a draw, though, because the knight should be able to draw against the pawn with his pawn so far back. You know, he should be able to play like knight d2, If I go a3, of course, then he checks and takes it. So I have to keep using my king to harass his knight. Then it should be a draw. You know, we can go chase around a bit, but at the end of the day, the knight should draw against the a-pawn. Okay, it's telling me in order to get a more accurate provisional rating, please place someone in the rating range 1371 to 1971. I'm working on it. Oh, so now, if you notice our new set design, you'll see the Chess Life
Game
November issue.
started.
Okay, so we got a game. Game on. Now, if I go here, well, let's try this. Don't really have a clear view on this. Although, even I could figure out that I see. Okie dokie. Can't do what I wanted to do.
Check.
Don't know, as usual, in the Jobava, if this really offers anything. It just looks like it might have the usual annoyance value, hopefully. It's interesting middle game here because, oh, now he's on my knight. I see. Okay, gotta take that. Yeah, that type of structure, if I go c5 and he gets the d5 square and I get this square, Al Yekin actually did a little bit of a study on that in his greatest games, talking about the knight on d6 versus the other knight on d5, and then situations where white sacks the exchange. Very interesting. Okay, so he's playing very, very tight here. Very, very, very good. Okay, I got a little more space on the queen side. Oh, now he's going to come with the counterplay. Oh, darn it. I should have played h3 to stop that. Yeah, now he's got that thorn pawn going. That's not much fun for me. Okay. Do I want to go make a pass pawn or do I want to go full speed ahead on this side? Let's go here, anticipate. Yeah, do we go f4 or do we let him go f4? It's not easy. Not easy at all. Oh, his knight's going to get a fantastic square on e4. No fun. This is not working out well.
Check.
Oh, and it's with check. Oh my goodness. This has disaster written all over it. Yeah, I should have played that one little move, h3. Okay.
Check.
Now,
Server announcement.
yeah, that one little move, not playing that one little move is definitely going to cost me. But it's a game. I got something going over. Oh, watch out for the knight fork. Okay.
Check.
I thought he was going to fork me. Oh, why didn't I go in? Why did I not go in? 40 seconds. Time is a problem, too. This is not working out well, but I think we said that.
Check.
Okay. Tough game here. What to do? Oh, I didn't take... Oh, I didn't take with the knight
Check.
because he was going to fork me. Oh,
check.
We got a break. A big break. Catch that rascal. Okay, even my kiddies know how to do this one. I think I got this one.
Time warning.
Okay, don't stalemate.
Check.
And that's the queen and rook roller.
Incoming challenge.
Oh, boy. Very good game, sir. Very good game. Just bad break there at the end with the 95 check, dude. Oh, yeah. My Pyrex Cup. Yeah, my marketing team says we've got to make the HenChess Cup. Got to quit doing product placement for Pyrex. They're not paying us. Okay, so let's see. I heard something about a challenge coming in. An unrated game of 5-0. Okay. I keep asking him to play 3-0. He wants to play 5-0. Why not?
Game started.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do this. Oh, he brings something new to the table. Yeah, Yekins. Did not expect that. I thought he was a Sicilian player. This guy has, I guess, a little bit of everything. Okay. A5. Okay. You can do A5, I guess. That's... I don't know, Karpov, Roman. They like this for white somehow. So, what I'm saying, I guess, is all I got to do is play like Karpov and Roman, and I'll be okay here. Anyway, I do have 2 bishops. I'm not castled yet, but I can look at my bishops, be a little happy, I guess. Okay, he's got good squares for his knights, but I feel some love on E6 coming. Is he worried? Now, this is good news. A game where I'm actually ahead on time. A little bit. 20 seconds. Okay, chop this guy off. Did he see queen takes d4? Little tactical nuance that I got 2 hits on the knight on b6.
Black resigns.
Bad break, dude. Not sure why you didn't stick with your Sicilian. You won that first game we played. Anyway, thanks for playing and all the support. He's one of our friends in Germany, and he's been very helpful, giving us some guidance on, getting things set up and so forth. And he always gives me a very tough game. But there, he just kind of got caught with a weak square on e6. Because back at this point, when I brought the knight to d4, see, I think he should have routed the knight via c5. That way, if I do the knight to d4, then that knight on c5 would always cover the e6. Now, of course, white's got more space, and white's got the 2 bishops. Not a position I'd want to give to Mr. Karpov or Magnus, but nonetheless, knight to c5. Then he could get the other knight around, to d7 to f6, d4. Then, it's a tough fight. Anyway, good game, sir, as always. Let's see. Oh, So we were talking about the Chess Life cover that you see on the new scene set, as they call it, or whatever they call it on Twitch. And this Queen's Gambit series started out as #1 on Netflix. And here we are a couple of months later. I think it released like very late October, 24th, 26th. Started out as #1, and it's still in the top 10 on Netflix, at least in the US. And I saw some stat, now this is already a couple of weeks ago, that it had been viewed by 62 million households. Can you imagine the number of girls that are going to be interested in getting into chess as a result of that? So I think that's a hugely positive thing. And then also I saw it was in something like maybe 162 countries as well. It had been #1 on Netflix for some period of time. So pretty amazing. And I think the real key to their success there was the attention to detail. If you look at some of the time period sets and so forth, like when they go to Vegas for a tournament, and it looks really how Las Vegas looked in the 1960s, early 70s, where there was no strip. There were just like 4 casinos downtown, and that was it. You know, I think it was like Golden Nugget, Bally's, 4 Queens, and something else. And so then also I talked to some people. I have one student lives up in Kentucky part of the year. And they said that a lot of the places that they showed from her youth and her upbringing actually are like real places. And the only thing they mentioned to me was she did not have a Kentucky accent. So, and then so much attention was paid like to her outfits, her lipstick at different ages, and so forth. And then also Kasparov contributed a lot to the realism of the whole trip to Moscow, which, you know, is in the final episode. And so the attention to detail was absolutely fantastic. And I think that's what really made the show such a big hit, you know. So let's see. Maybe I can take a look here at the chat while I got a minute. Let's see. Oh, B Thins. Oh, says Dasher keeps crashing on my laptop. On my iPad, ICC says I need to challenge someone closer to my rating, so I can't issue a challenge to you. You know what? Maybe I can play B Thins 3. Let's see. How do I challenge B Thins 3? Is Sandro here? You can do that if you challenge Ron unrated. Oh, so Mr. B Thins, you hear that? ICC says you can challenge me if you do it unrated. Now, I don't know why our ratings, I guess probably my rating's too low. And maybe your rating's too high. You're too good. So, let's see. Cruxel Lannister. Crunx Lannister. By the way, could you tell us what that name means, sir? Crunx Lannister. Okay. Let's see. Too much food tonight. I'm almost falling asleep. Yeah, that was not your best game, sir. I was surprised that you let me get off so easy tonight. Lannisters from the Game of Thrones. See? The things I've missed out on, lacking my education. I never got into Game of Thrones, although I know a lot of people raved about it, you know. Also, it took me like 17 years to finally sit and watch The Sopranos and see why people 20 years ago that I knew were raving about it, you know. So, that's just me. I get behind. Let's see. So I want to see if I can get my other system up here. Okay, so meanwhile, while B Thins is challenging me, can we go ahead and get another game here? I mean, I figure chess players sometimes borderline antisocial, and with things restricted and closed down in some parts, there should be lots of us chess players out there on internet world, ICC world. And Crunx is a gaming name I use. Gotcha. So you combine Crunks with Lannister. And I wanted to see how Mr. Sandro's doing. Did you have your New Year? He's in Italy. Did you have your New Year's celebration, sir? Okay. So I sent out a 3-minute. Says I'm in the pool of players waiting to be paired.
Game started.
I guess I'm no longer waiting. Okay. Give it a whirl. Okay. Now this is interesting because now, well, what to do? I don't really have the usual F3, G4 business now. And he's already playing bishop to B4. Well, so much for castling queenside this game. That's kind of off the table. Whoa, timeout. Technical timeout here. Do we have a tactic? Tactic alert. Maybe a little lucky there.
Check.
Okay, so at least we put a pawn in our pocket. Not just a pawn, that's a pretty valuable center pawn as far as those things go. But it is doubled, so it's not the end of the world for him. Yeah, we got a little break there. Now, this is going to be tricky. Okay, let's do this. And can we pin this guy? Now, there could be some more tactics. He can't take on D3. Well, he can, but then his queen is hanging. Actually, in the famous Fischer game with Spassky,
Black
game 6
resigns.
of the match. Yeah, the problem here, if he plays rook to C8, I'm going to play D4. Right. And then on knight D5, I can actually play rook takes. Yeah, and then on knight here, I have rook takes C8 check. And he's got some back rank mate issues. Anyway, so it looks like he might lose a piece here. That's the problem. Anyway, good game, sir. Unfortunate B5 move there. You know, walked into the tactic because your queen was on an unprotected square. So yeah, I think that's something about Bobby Fischer said something about UPDO, unprotected pieces drop off or something, or maybe that was a British or something. Anyway, Bethan said he's still having some issues. Okay. And Morphe Soul, because my birthday is the same as him. Oh, what day is that birthday, Mr. Crunksel Lannister? What day is Morphe's birthday? June 22nd. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I think my birthday is December 5th, is somewhere around Lombardy and maybe Harry Nelson Pillsbury. Unfortunately, when I went to Hastings, I did not do as well as the famous Hastings 1895, where Harry Nelson Pillsbury finished ahead of Tarrasch, who he beat in like round 2 or 3, von Bardeleben, Steinitz, Lasker, Chigorin, all these guys are in the tournament, and this young unknown American, Harry Nelson Pillsbury, won the tournament. And by the way, speaking of which, Lasker was world champion for 27 years. And my contention is, of course, first off, unlike Magnus Carlsen, who like every 2 or 3 years has to defend his title, in those days, he might go 5, 10 years without a match. And then the process was that someone would start to win some tournaments, gather attention, gather sponsors, put up money for a match, and the world champion would dictate terms. And so it's my contention that one reason Lasker kept the title, aside from not having to defend it regularly, was that the two players that really had a chance against him were Harry Nelson Pillsbury, whose lifetime score was something like +5, -5, 4 draws, although one of Harry Nelson Pillsbury's wins was like kind of an exhibition non-tournament game. But nonetheless, it showed that he had the ability to play on the same level, and certainly the talent, And then the other player, of course, was Akibar Rubinstein, who in my opinion is the greatest player to never actually become world champion, because at his peak years, according to the what's the name of the group that does the backup rating systems? Backtracks, like Chess Metrics or something, where they go back in time and they've actually calculated all the ratings for players throughout history, based on backward analysis of results. Reverse engineering, I guess you would call it, to some degree. But Rubinstein was unlucky because his peak years, 1912 to 1914, that little thing called World War I happened. And so, of course, all chess tournaments and matches. In fact, he was even in negotiations with Lasker to have a match. Unfortunately, after the war, Rubinstein was not, quite the same player. And so it wasn't until Capablanca came along. And then by then, Capablanca just crushed Lasker, 5-0 in the match. But then with Lasker, ironically, after he lost the world championship, he would not have been regarded nearly as highly, except that he had fantastic results in a couple of tournaments that were like very strong, like New York was in 1927 and Moscow in 1935. By Moscow 1935, the guy was like in his 60s, and he finished third in a powerhouse tournament with all these young Russians and everyone. So anyway, interesting bit of chess history. I guess I should send out another seek and hop in the pool. Okay. Yeah, this last game was good. Maybe bishop takes d3, I felt like. And then, of course, the tactic with knight takes d5. That was key. Because, see, when I play knight takes d5, if he goes queen takes queen, I'm able to play knight takes on e7 check. We call that an intermezzo, or an in-between move. Or, what do they call it? Oh, Zwischenschach. In German is like an in-between move that's a check. So in-between is Zwischen, and Schach is check. So an in-between move. So for example, here if he played queen takes queen, I go knight takes e7 check. And then when he moves the king, then I recapture the queen on d2. So yeah, Zwischenschach. Yeah, I didn't know that. I had to look it up. By the way, I know a lot of people don't like Wikipedia, but they do have a great glossary of chess terms if you ever, need that for a reference source. Okay?
Game started.
Okay, home again. Are we really home again? Okay, I guess we are. Okay, good play. What to do against this? I don't know. One day I should really work these things out. My friend Bob wants me to learn the Benoni. Okay, now that's interesting. Well, I guess in theory I can get the pawn back this way. I guess. But what kind of position do we have afterwards? He's going to have that bishop on nice diagonal. Oh boy, oh boy. Tempts me. It's probably not quite right. So we better just stick to our business here and get our pawn back. Am I tempting fate here? Now, by the way, I don't know if you hear some music going by.
Check.
Again, Schwissenschach. I guess that's our word for the day. Yeah, how is this in game? I don't know. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's about equal. Although, as Magnus would say, maybe I can argue I have a little bit better the pawn structure. But doesn't mean anything. I'm going to be a little lagging in development. But two pairs of minor pieces have come off the board. So now he gives me the option to trade queens or to keep the queens on the board. I see. I'm going to keep the queens on the board maybe and see what his plan is for his pawns there. Although that might not have been the best idea. Yeah, not so easy for me to unravel the queen side. He's got what he wants there with that beautiful bishop there. Yeah, that's the move that's annoying. This is a little bit bizarre, but I just got to kind of secure that. On with the game. Not happy about my rook on b8 and my bishop on c8, but okay. Yeah, it's a little annoying because he's got more guys coming there, but okay. Whatever we do here, we got to get developed. Gotta get developed.
Check.
Okay, now, no question there. Even I can see I got to trade that guy. Should we activate here? I got to be careful now about playing b6 because I don't want to weaken this c6 square too permanently, if you will. Okay, so at least we got a target there. That's a bit tricky. A bit tricky. Still not happy with my rook situation. Is there a tournament director in the house? With the rook on b8, am I allowed to castle kingside? No, I think the rule is no. Castling's overrated. Actually, in all seriousness, William Lombardi pointed out that castling is actually kind of a passive move. Okay, so see now he's swapping this for that. Do we like that trade? We have a choice. Okay, at least we got a, hopefully we got a 3 for 2 kind of Publix BOGO deal, I hope. So we got 3, he got 2, right? But, okay, now he's attacking our rook. Okay. In. Oh, didn't think about that. Okay, back. Okay. Okay, now at least we can try to get our guys out. Okay, tighten that up, hopefully.
White forfeits on time.
Wow, what was that? Was that a 3-minute game? Okay, tough game. You had a lot of pressure. You had pressure in the opening. I mean, it was tit for tat. Good game. Taking on c5 is unusual, but there is a logic that you have this really good bishop. Like, I mean, this bishop was really biting into my queen side. I think a lot of players would have had a lot of problems. Now, this was actually an interesting moment when I played rook b8, because there's a trick here. If you go bishop c6 check, where's the examine mode? Up here, settings. Oh, the little computer dealy. So it says it's pretty even, but I was thinking about if you try to play, oh, it won't let you make moves. But anyway, bishop c6, I actually think I can take it. And then on queen takes, then I have the counter strike with queen takes c3 check, king over, queen takes rook check. Then you go king g2. And then what do I do about my bishop that is pinned? Wow. I didn't look at it that far, but I guess I would have to go king d8. Then let's say you bring the knight out. Then I bring my knight up. Then you can go rook to check. No, I got to move my queen. So it's not all that clear that that would be so great for me. I might have to surrender the bishop and run with my king to f8 to g7. Good game. Okay, so let's see. How are we doing on time? About the halfway mark. We'll try to go to 7:30 or so tonight, I think. Let's see. Now, the other thing with the Queen's Gambit Declined, the series, is that if you look on YouTube, there's like Beth Harmon's best combinations, Beth Harmon's best games, and people have actually put amazing amount of meticulous research into, as did Kasparov when he prepared the games. What he did was he actually read the book, and then he picked games that would actually match. So the final game with Borgov, he said, is a variation from a game that Patrick Wolf had, I don't know, like 20 years ago. And the way Gary did this was he actually put certain parameters into a database and then did a search, and then he might get 30 or 40 games, and he had to play through them and see which one would meet, kind of the follow-on of what happened in the book. Although, from what I remember, in the book, I don't remember the girl getting a call from the players in New York trying to help her win. But, again, I read the book back in the 1980s. Oh, the other unique thing that I found out is that Walter Tevis, who wrote the book, of course, it came out, I think, in 83. He passed away in 84. He had hopes to make a movie. Then around 2006, 2007, Heath Ledger was super excited about it. He was pumped. He was going to make a movie, but then, of course, unfortunately, he passed. And then the rights eventually reverted to the guy, Ford, I think, who finally produced it. And unfortunately, there will not be a sequel because, A, there was not a second volume of the book, and 2, the guy who produced it, mini-series, that's his thing. That's his thing. The series before this that Kasparov said he actually sat down to watch when he was approached about becoming involved in the project was like a 6-part series, also dealing with a woman, overcoming, issues and so forth. And so yeah, Gary put a lot of effort into it. In fact, he said after the movie came out, Patrick Wolf actually called him up and said, "Hey, I see you used my game for, part of the movie. Awesome." So, oh, I'm just running off at the mouth and I should be trying to get another game. That's what everyone came to see. Blood on the board, fire on the board. By the way, fire on the board, I saw a beautiful combination recently by Alexei Shirov. Oh, and of course, amazing queen sack where someone played queen g6 on the white side of a double king pawn opening. I forget who that was. Yeah, B. Thin says that he feels Karras was the best player never to become world champion. But I think the other reason I lean towards Rubinstein is that the very first tournament game he played against Lasker, against Capablanca, against Alyekin, and against Erva. Imagine, he won the first tournament game he played against each of these players, okay? And also, too, well, if you talk about opening theory and stuff, yeah, there's a number of Karras' systems, there's a number of Rubinstein openings. So, yeah, both of them were tremendous contributors. Maybe in some ways contributed more to chess theory development than
incoming
players
challenge.
that actually did win the world championship. Okay.
Game started.
Okay, game 1. 3-0, got to play fast. That last game was a complete surprise when someone lost on time. Okay, let's play the bishop in front of the pawn, which blocks in our other bishop. Isn't that what they teach us to do? No. You only play moves like this if you watch videos by guys named Kopek. Here, my opponent's playing a very good system. Okay, so he's trading down quite a bit. Yeah, he's playing this very, very well. Now, why did he feel he should go back there? I don't think there was any reason he didn't need to go ahead and just play d5. Go for it. Liquidation station. Now he's got a backward pawn on an open file, which, of course, in our hyper-modern day of openings and stuff is not the end of the world, but yeah, it was an interesting moment, Zurich 1953, when suddenly players realized that, what's going on here? Can I just trade, and hope nothing bad happens to me? Am I walking into a trap here? Oh, I see. He might have something technical on the end there. Oh, Jadoob. Oh, wait. You could check first. Which bishop is better? This one or that one? I mean, in principle, we're still on trade, but let's throw in the check. I just have this feeling that I'm going to have an accident here somewhere. Okay, but so far, liquidation station. Everything's pretty much under control, as far as I can tell. And we got an extra pawn. So those are all good things. Okay, no back rank mate issue. Nothing hanging. More trading. Okay, now what do we need to do? Well, let's see if we can steal another pawn when all else fails. Okay, and keep our eye on the clock, right? Okay, so he's not letting me in. He's not letting me in. See, if he could have played knight c8 maybe, but now knight c8 gets him pinned.
Check.
Okay, now he's a little bit pinned up here. A little bit pinned up. Oh, I thought that guy was... Oh, no. I thought that guy was mine for the taking. That was stupid. I didn't see that guy was defended. Okay, got to step it up here. Well, I may have stumbled on a good move there. Maybe. This guy's defending like a tiger. Did I finally zap some of his pieces? I don't know. Okay, at least we're a little ahead on the clock. And I don't know why I didn't just play a6 instead of silly knight a6 earlier. But what's done is done. Focus. Move on. Okay, now that's good. We got that guy. Okay. Okay, now things are working. Okay, things are clicking.
Check.
Okay, someone on his team's going to have to get back and play some D. That guy's going in. That guy's going in. It's going to be a girl. Okay, now. Oh, Jadoob.
Checkmate.
I should have moved my knight and missed the mate in one. Always play mate in one. That's a great rule, Ron. Anyway, good game, sir. You were doing quite good in the opening, and then back here when you went knight d7, that was a little maybe unnecessary. I mean, in fact, computers actually recommend everything you did, like right up to here. Bishop f, yeah. So knight d7. I don't think there's any reason you couldn't play d5. In fact, let's put the computer on, see what it says. Yeah, it's saying you could play d5 here, and it should be
incoming
here.
Challenge.
So good game. I'm sorry, sir. We probably just gonna try to do one game with each player because try to give everyone a chance. But that was a good game. Yeah, right there. Think you should play d5. Full equality. White has no reason to try and claim an advantage if you play d5 there. So, and that is what computers. Now that system in the opening, by the way, that was the Kopek system. And Kopech was an international master. He was a college professor. He played on a U.S. Student Olympic team in Mexico one year that I played on. And a lot of the other players made fun of him because he had his own thoughts and openings. But I'm telling you, with this Kopech system, he won a lot of games. Okay. Then, of course, computers came along, showed how to equalize, and the fun was gone. Except the system is so old, a lot of people don't remember it. And so we get away with things sometimes. He's saying knight a7 was better instead of a4. Yeah, but a4 was okay. My knight a6 was kind of a stupid move. I should have just played pawn to a6 and left him in the box. I didn't connect it on rook b7. The bishop on f5 was protecting the knight on c8. So that was just silly. I was thinking knight a6, rook a8, bishop d5, trapped the rook on a8, duh. But I mean, still, of course, I had a solid extra pawn. I had super active pieces, and then once I harassed this bishop with g4, the white pieces were getting tangled. But a4, to try and squeeze the knight, this is a typical friend of mine, international master Dr. Carl Berger. I had the chance to spend some time with him. He grew up in the Fisher era, but had to go to medical practice. Very, very nice talent, though. Very clean, very intellectual guy. And he had this phrase, ZAP, Z-A-P. I guess that's called an acronym, Ron. Very good. Not a phrase, acronym. But the actual phrase is zigzwagging advance of pawns. So, yeah, if you look at that position, pretty well got him tied up. So moves like a5, squeezing the knight, was actually quite okay. But here, I should just play pawn to a6. And then he's really in the box there. How's that rook getting out? That could be a real challenge. I mean, I also had bishop g8 check, but I didn't ever see the real point. But I guess I could play a6. Well, I guess he could try to play b5. That would be the idea. But then I could play bishop check, maybe bring the bishop back, or I could start going after his bishop. Yeah, I should play g4. Duh. Just play g4. In fact, g4 right here. Don't even play a6 or knight a6. But let's say I play a6, b5. Then I just go g4, kick the bishop off the diagonal, and then I go bishop check, and then I go bishop on pp on the
Game started.
Okay, who we got here? Okay, haven't done this in a while. Not sure I should. The Ruy Lopez. This is actually named after a Spanish priest who had like a gazillion different names, like Ruy Lopez de Segura or something. He head faked me. He built like he was going to play d4, and then he head faked me. Okay. Doesn't mean he won't do it later anyway. What are we supposed to do here? Part of me wants to play queen d7, but then I'm going to be pinned. It's not a happy story. And what we're not supposed to do is take lots of time. Yeah, weaken your queen side. That's the ticket. You know who plays these positions pretty well is Hikaru. Yeah, see, now he's got that business going. Okay, now pretty much de facto by force, we either need to play d5 or knight b4. Knight b4, I don't trust it, so let's go d5. Not sure I trust that either. Ugh, that is an ugly pawn structure. Okay. Yeah, that's an ugly pawn structure. This is not good. Oh boy. This is like gone from not good to worse. Yeah, I should have done something there. You think? Yeah, this is going south fast. Not happy here.
Server announcement.
I'd say he stole a pawn in broad daylight, except now we got this funny time thing where it's not even... Oh, very clever. Yeah, now he wants to take that and take that. Okay, let's take that. Now, does he take with the rook or take with a pawn? Okay, so now I can't play there because he's got that guy. He's playing against my knight. And I wanted to go there and trade those guys, but... Oh, and I'm short on time. This is just like all going backwards. Oh, now he's coming after me on that side. Smart move. Okay. This is just grim.
Check.
It just gets worse. I think we can officially say I've completely bungled this at this point. Uh,
Time warning. White incoming forfeit challenge. On time.
dude. Dude, great game. Now here it's a little tricky. Your rook's trapped. I get that, but... Ay, Chihuahua. I think a few of the people thought that was the one where I was going down. You played great, sir. My queenside was a disaster. Yep. I don't know, that delayed d4 was very effective. I dodged a couple of bullets there. Let's see. Who is Isengard? Have we played before?
Server announcement started.
Okay, who are we playing here? Oh, Mr. Isengard. Okay. I don't know. This is, if you saw some of the previous... Now that's weird. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. H6 pluses and minuses, according to Simon Williams, and according to me. On the one hand, okay, he was hitting my guy. Okay, now, oh, now that's interesting. If I go there, he can go take. What am I going to do? I'm not supposed to let him go there. And he's after my bishop. No, don't like that. Well, let's go there. I'm not sure that's great either. Oh, maybe we should have done this. Yeah, okay, for better or for worse. Well, we did it now. Okay, so now we got kind of a King's Indian, same-ish type formation situation. The bishops, now that's a little weird. He changed direction on me. Get our king out of the way. I'm wondering if I should be going there. Not sure what to do with the e2 knight. Oh, I know what I should be doing. Okay, maybe we'll get another chance. Petrosian's the guy that was really good in these scenarios. Well, among others. Okay, now I think White can feel like he might have a little something. Very unusual to castle queenside. Now with h5, of course, I'm trying to provoke him into locking it up with g5. And then I'll probably cartwheel the knight to g3 and try and hit that f5 square. And hope he's not listening to what I'm up to. On the queen side. Okay, so he's hustling back, he's not. But you know what? Let's go ahead and be a little bit bold on this side. Take a little more space. Now, generally, we don't advance pawns on the side where we are castled. However, we have a restrictive idea, and we want to trade the light squared bishops. Now, he looks like he's going to try to get some counterplay, but f5 is going to be a bit of a challenge. And, oh, now, that's interesting. Now, ideally, I'd like to take with the rook, but it wasn't a possibility in this situation. Okay, now he's coming with some dark square play. Oh, little trick there. What happens if we take that pawn? Okay, first things first, take that guy. Now, what happens if we take the pawn on h6? He'll do something. We'll double. I think we can get out of there live. Not that I saw this, but I had some thought here when I put the rook on this square. I was hoping that there might be some logic here. Okay, so now we got an extra pawn on that side, but we are kind of extended on both sides. But now we have the aforementioned knight swing to f5 that we'd hoped for. So yeah, now I think we have prospects on both sides. But his knight on g5, I have to say, he's done. Oh, and now he's going to come in. Very clever. I see. Oh, not easy at all. He's going to come in and get that ugly stuff we call counterplay. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Yeah, I see. Okay, let's get down here. Boy, that's a bummer. Or should we go forward? Let's do that. Or should we just take that? Yeah, let's do it this way. Then let's go up here and attack him, hopefully. That might not have been the best way to do things. Maybe that was a little too optimistic. Yeah, I think he could have checked first and then gone for that. Okay. Oh, now he's offering the queen trade. Okay, now the knight ending should be okay for me.
Server announcement.
Famous last words. As long as I can keep all my pawns, get my king in position. Okay, yeah, now the dance begins. He's hopping around. Okay, let's trade that. Get that guy up there. And let's get over here and see if we can chase this guy out of our business. Oh, he's found another square. Okay. Yeah, he's... not what you really want when you got... how am I going to get counterplay here? Okay, check. I think we got a trick there. Okay.
Check.
Yeah, we got a BOGO there.
Time warning. Checkmate.
Oh, with 11 seconds left. Very good game, sir. Very good game. Tough, tough battle. Yep, you made me work for that one. Yeah, even when I had the pawn up, but you probably made a very good practical choice there to go ahead and give up the pawn and get a nice square on g5 for your knight where it's attacking my pawn base. That was, yeah, really, really heads up play, sir. Let's see. Okay, just trying to get something else set up here. Okay. 2, 5, 2, 5. Enter. Okay. Oh, let's see. We got something else loading up on the other side. Okay. Yeah, lucky I was able to break in on the queen side there at the end and save a lot of time there and go win the pawn. Let's see. So I probably got time for about 2 or 3 more games. Maybe. Let's see. So I guess Krunksel Lannister in Germany probably had to go off and see what's going on. I'm going to retire the Pyrex cup. I'm going to go for the fruit juice. Okay. And Chobani yogurt. Yeah. Yeah, the guy's from New York. Makes a good product. Okay, let's see. Okay. Got our breath. Got a little sip of juice. And I think we are ready for another game, maybe. Very good game there, sir. I mean, obviously, white had, like, really good space advantage and so forth, but, you know, you kind of accept that when you play, like, that double hippopotamus, double fianchetto thing. That was close at the end. 11 seconds to 5 seconds. I see the game was 64 moves. That's my current age. That's how long Bobby lived. That's the number of squares on the chessboard, more or less. When I was teaching my class one day, I'm asking the kids, I'm explaining to them light squares, dark squares. So I usually start out with how many squares on the chessboard. And I'm expecting the usual 64. And then I proceed to tell them that 32 are light, 32 are dark. Like in this game, for example, I had a nice grip on the light squares, okay? Like if we look here, after I trade these bishops, you can see a few moves later, I've got very nice light squares. But you, on the other hand, had very nice dark squares, okay? So, yeah, I saw this coming. And, yeah, now I'm a solid pawn up, but I really underestimated that annoying knight on g5. So, but anyway, one kid pops up. There's 3,454 or some number like that. I'm like, what? And then he points out that 4 squares on the chessboard is also a square. And then once he started using the multiplier effect, you realize, sure enough, looked it up on, some math site or Wikipedia or Google or wherever, and the kid was right. So, as usual, you learn to rephrase things properly.
Game started.
Who we got here? 1893 is Zezel? Okay, let's see what's going on. I've not been overwhelmingly happy with this so far. Now, Kasparov, amazingly enough, actually lost a game to David Howell, something like this, where Kasparov actually let him take on g6. Well, that's annoying. That knight wants to come in there. That's annoying. Now what? Now what? Don't really feel like I have anything here. That's probably because I don't. Where does a king belong? I mean, he's already got this ready-made attack coming if I go that way. Not sure this is much better. Oh, wow. Can honestly say we are not thrilled here. Probably happy to make it to an endgame here with my king not so beautifully placed. Now what to do? If I go there, you can take. Could go there, but that'll just bring that around. So he's rerouting the knight. That makes sense. Wish I knew how to get my other knight in the game. Try not to get these things trapped. Ron, you're just full of words of wisdom today. Oh, so that was his plan. He defended that guy. Now he's ready to go there.
Check.
Okay, maybe. I don't know if it's going to be very good, but I'm just so worried about these knights tricking me. I'm like deathly paranoid of these knights. But for the moment, I got 2 extra pawns. And hopefully, it's not as much of a problem as that last endgame where we had 2 knights. That was a nightmare. Okay, try and trade some of these guys off. He's not having any of it. Okay, how to make progress. Oh, we're short on time, too. I blundered my extra pawn. Fortunately, I still have one.
Check. Check.
Okay, now some progress. Running out of pawns, though.
Time
Check.
warning. Check. Check.
Ah!
Check.
I guess we're going to lose this one.
Check.
Shame is completely winning position.
Check. 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 White forfeits on time.
Ah, good game, sir. Good fight. I knew those two knights were going to be a problem. Good game. Ah, what can you do? Anyway, life goes on. So I think we got time for one or two more games. Yeah, was I 2 pawns up at one point in that game? Yes, I was. And the frickin' knights hopping around in time trouble, that's like a nightmare. Okay. Now, is anyone in chat? Okay, so Crunks Lannister said he's checking out. Oh yeah, and B Thins points out, which I was going to mention, that Tevis also wrote The Hustler with Newman and Gleason. Absolute classic. And then, what was it, about 25 years later, late 80s, there was a remake, Color of Money, with Newman, who now has a protege playing billiards, Tom Cruise.
Game started.
And I have to say, Cruise was like the consummate jerk in that movie. Okay, let's say. Okay, got a FIDE master here. Okay, and he's playing like this, which he's entitled to do. And let's see. Yeah, the danger with all these openings is one is always tempted to do something crazy. Okay, I got to see this to believe it. Take my knight, sir, if you want. Give me the bishop pair. Yeah, I know you're going to get some light squares, but, you know, look, game on. Okay. He's really going for the full hunker down. And I guess he's claiming that my extra pawn is not all that great. Definitely don't want to do the bishop's opposite color thing. A very interesting practical opening that he's come up with here. Not so easy to keep the extra pawn. And my king is a bit exposed on both sides. Very nice. Yeah, very, very interesting. He's already got some compensation, I have to say. I'm not feeling so thrilled with it all. Oh, and see, now he's not even looking to trade this guy. He's looking to trade that guy and keep his super knight. Oh, very nice. Very nice indeed, sir. Yeah, now if I go there,
Check.
okay, so now do we take with the pawn or take with the rook? Yeah, take with the rook. Yeah, I may regret sacrificing the queen, but who knows? If Tal does it, it's brilliant. I may get a little touch on f7.
Check.
Hey, we got a pass pawn. Life's not all bad, right? Oh, he's challenging my baby, my knight. No, not my knight, sir. What can we do? Ah, just take it. Don't panic. Don't panic. I took that way because I want to keep his queen out, but that wasn't necessarily so bright, was it? I think I bungled this. I meant to. Darn it! Now I'm not holding on to my pawn. There's still some tricks here. very fascinating opening the guy played. Okay, so now what's he doing? He's activating the queen, which in the open board,
Check.
that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Check.
Oh, he's plucking him.
Check.
I'm running out of pawns. But maybe so is he. Oh, he's going to sacrifice the dog. Rats. If I take on g6, he's going to sack the queen. Uh, this is annoying to be losing to such nonsense opening, but look, that's life.
Time warning. Check. 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 Checkmate.
Ah, another good game, sir. Of course, that's a dubious nonsense opening, but good game. Anyway, I guess we'll do one more game and call it a day. Good game, sir. Although the opening you had pretty good play, I have to say, after d5. Have to look at it, see what I should have done, in case sometime in the next 100 years someone else plays this nonsense. But I can't blame you. Great practical opening for fast time control. The old H-pawn attack. I think Simon Williams has a video. Push Harry up the board. And you certainly followed that advice. Yeah, because now I got the two bishops, but the center is blocked, and the knights are pretty good. And then you did a great job of overpowering my e3 bishop. And then you had control of the dark squares. So the queen sack gave me pretty good practical chances, but I think at some point I missed it. But you played knight e8 to trade the knight. That was smart. Getting rid of my fantastic knight. That was smart. Anyway, FIDE Master, good player. Good game. Yeah. Tough fight.
Game started.
Okay. Well, I guess times like this call for Sicilian. This is a bishop c4 Sicilian. This is very, very popular and very dangerous. A lot of guys that play this kind of know their stuff, got it worked out. Now, this guy's giving me the bishop here. Okay, now it looks like he wants to attack with f5, but okay. I'm going to call his bluff, for better or for worse. Is he an exchange sacrifice kind of guy? Yes, he is. So he's definitely all in my business with this exchange sack. And he's got some squares. Should we be greedy and take another one? Yeah, that's probably excessive greed, to be sure. Maybe, should we have made a pit stop there? Okay, rooks belong on files. I read that somewhere. I'm wondering if we should have made a pit stop somewhere to throw in the check, just to see if we could weaken him for a back rank. But I guess that's kind of out of the action now. Well, let's get up here. I mean, these situations, you got a rook, you got to use it. Oof. But his pieces are very well placed, I have to say. His knight and bishop. But fortunately, we've had a fair amount of liquidation, so I'm hoping that will mitigate the value of the well-placed pieces. Yeah, a little bit of a dilemma for him, because if he backs up, I can go forward. Okay. Now that's interesting. If I go there, will I regret? Does he have any razzle-dazzle on that F7 pawn? Because I really want to activate my rooks. Okay, he's going for something here.
Check.
Okay, that forks those guys. Okay, so he's going to get something back, but that's a little path interference penalty on his bishop. Now, hopefully that's the last we see of that guy for a while. Okay, forcing me to move, but now it feels like we're in good shape. And the good news is he doesn't have two knights that are going to dance around and create all kind of problems for me.
Check.
In fact, here, am I trying to bungle this? Well, I'm trying, but...
Check.
It seems like we're kind of running out of pawns a little bit here, but let's just get this guy going.
Check.
Okay, he's got a little bit of an uphill struggle here.
Check. Check.
You would think at some point I could get my rooks doubled on the 7th rank. Where is he going with all that? Okay, he's going to try and check and get that pawn going. Let's take this one. I mean, maybe I should have gotten rid of his pawn.
Check.
Let's get rid of that. Okay, good. Now I feel better. Okay.
Check.
Check there. Check there.
Check.
Let's get his bishop.
Check. Check.
And
checkmate.
Rook roller checkmate. Finally, got him. Okay, good game, sir. Yeah, the exchange sack on F5, it's a bit ambitious. And I guess we're at 7:33. I guess people are going to head off for New Year's. So I'd like to thank everyone for participating. And my friends like Jason and Alec and Sandro and all the people helped me get everything set up. My friend David in New York, Bob, everyone. Okay, everybody have a great new year. Stay safe, and I imagine I'll see you next week. Thanks a lot.